Welcome back to the Honest Sooners podcast. I'm
I'm
Zach,
Craig.
and we're here. It's 1 week away from football season. Last podcast before the Sooners football season, but next week is week 0.
What do you mean by week 0?
There's football games.
College? How did I
Yeah.
not know that?
Week 0 is next week. Nebraska is one of the teams that will play.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to try to pull it up real quick. I had it pulled up a second ago, and then
I didn't know.
we started talking.
So they actually played it like next Saturday? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think so. Yep. Let's see. I could have sworn. No, hold on.
No. Should come better prepared.
Saturday, August 27th. That's next
Yeah.
week, right?
You come out here on this podcast and say 0 week, and you can't even look up and see who's playing.
I'm telling you right
like
now.
30 minutes to do that.
Nebraska versus Northwestern.
What's the spread on that?
13 Nebraska.
Against Northwestern?
Yeah, I actually like the Northwest. I kind of like Northwestern to cover that.
Big Ten North. So they're opening Big Ten up, their first games.
Yeah. Yep, Northwestern. Nebraska at Northwestern, even at
Isn't
that
Northwestern usually good?
I think they've been decent. ESPN, like the match predictor, has Nebraska at a 78.7% chance of winning that game.
Wow. I'm kind of like you. Kind of like Northwestern there.
Both of them have lost their last 5 games last year, so.
Interesting.
Let's look at Nebraska. Let's look at Northwestern's schedule from last year. See how well they did.
I always thought Northwestern was at least 9-3.
They're usually an upset team. They're usually a team that stays not very good, but they can come out and beat your
but I always thought
Ohio State or your Michigan.
I always thought they were like a 9-3, 8-4 type teams.
Well, we may change our mind. Last year they only won 3 games.
Man,
so.
Okay. Interesting. Because I remember Northwestern used to just run the ball on you. Maybe I'm thinking of Wisconsin.
Yeah, but that's probably the best game. Florida State plays, but they play a no name. Yeah, but I mean that's football. Football will be on.
Is it going to be on the boat?
I don't know if they get Fox on your cruise ship. So
I mean, do they have a sports bar? Or?
Typically, you'll have to look, but typically it's only ESPN, and then the Fox stuff is usually soccer. So that could be wrong though, because I mean it's the only football on, so you might be able to catch some games on there. Will you be on the boat on Saturday?
We load Saturday, yes.
It's 11:30 kickoff.
I think we depart at 4:00.
You might have a chance since it's 11:30 kickoff, and you'll be in Texas. You'll get the Texas channels probably.
I'll already be on the boat by 11.
I know, but I'm saying you'll get the Texas channels on the boat.
See,
you'll have
still
a chance.
A boat rookie.
I know.
And did I ever told you that if this one doesn't go right, I'll never get on another one?
That's what you keep saying, which is, I mean, this rate, I'm getting closer to being able to go back onto one, but we'll
I know
how
the
that
whole
goes.
family's hoping I enjoy this one, so for everybody can go on one.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So we'll wait and see. So your week, this last week, you were kind of ill, huh?
Yeah, sick all week. Started on Monday night.
Probably COVID.
Didn't go. I tested actually. Not monkeypox.
What else is there out there right now?
Thea tested positive for RSV. Yeah. Adults typically don't test for that, but it's usually a common cold for adults. But I mean, we're on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Felt better Saturday, and then felt a little bit better today. So going on 6 days.
Yeah, I'm glad you stayed away from me.
Yeah, you always tell me that. You know, you used to live with me when I was sick.
But that was back in the day.
Yeah, I think I've since I've had a child, I've become more sick than I've ever
Yeah,
been.
welcome to the club. Because
They're little germ
that was
magnets.
probably 30 years ago when you were with me when you were sick.
30. I'm only 25.
Oh, I thought you were 26.
No, I turned 26 this next
My bad.
month. Yeah, that's so. Oh, let's jump into since we were talking about week 0. Uh, I'm going to catch you off guard because you obviously true football fan didn't even know that there was a week 0 and that these teams were playing. I need a pick. You gonna get a pen and piece of paper out? Are you
We're
gonna write
gonna we're gonna
our
start
picks
with
down?
week 0.
Yeah, to throw it out there.
Well,
We won't have to. We won't do the 3 picks and a lock. We'll just do one pick.
okay. We don't need a pen for that.
We're just gonna
Well, it'll be on
remember.
video, dork.
Well, yeah, but we need like a scoreboard. I don't want to have to go.
Yes, when a scoreboard happens, yes. But right now, first day, we don't need a dang pen.
All right. So who do you? I'm gonna text Uncle Tommy real quick too. He's gonna be actually on Thursday's podcast that you are not gonna make.
So he's
He's
a
gonna do.
special guest.
I mean, will he actually be called a guest since he'll probably be on every Thursday episode? No, I mean he's going to be a permanent star.
Permanent
I should
star.
say.
Tommy Picks.
Yeah, the Tommy picks. I'm going to tell him that I need them right now.
And he came into the card shop yesterday to grade a Terry Bradshaw rookie card.
He drove all the way over there to
and
get
it blew my mind that he even had one. Didn't even know that.
Did you meet him up there?
I worked the shop yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he came up there. So.
Are you looking up what you're
I didn't bring my glasses in, dude. I'm blind now. I even got a new pair of glasses today.
There's not very many games that I see a spread for.
Well, I will tell you right now, I'm going to take, let's see, NCAA football.
He said week 0. What is wrong with you non-college football fans not knowing about week 0?
Well, how come it's not coming up on ESPN?
You can't do the top 25 because there's not any top 25 teams playing.
So how do you get out of the top 25?
Oh my god, this is like working with a boomer.
I'm just saying, it's got all the other conferences on there. FBS, never mind. Let's see what pops up. There we go. Saturday, Austin and Western Kentucky. There's not very many lines yet, and my glasses aren't. I'm going to take.
Let me go first. I want you to steal mine.
Ahead.
If you scroll to the bottom, you probably see this coming because of my obsession I had with this team every time we passed them driving to Texas. But I am going to take North Texas with the even money line. You guys are going to see this a lot. I love even money lines. But I'm going to take North Texas over UTEP.
Well, no wonder you like even lines because you got a 50-50 shot. I mean,
exactly.
Come on, dude.
Well, some people might think that they like a 30-point, line because they get 30 points.
That'd be Tommy pick.
But we're about to see.
I would say I'm gonna. For some reason, my gut is telling me I'm gonna take Utah State minus 27.5
against UConn 27.5. Speaking of gambling, Kansas is now legalized sports gambling,
and Oklahoma's still sitting here doing nothing.
No, and yeah, correct. And honestly, when the federal government released that that we could finally sports gamble, I honestly thought that Oklahoma would have been one of the first states to legalize.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, there's so many dang casinos.
We already had the casinos that we just needed to put it in place. And at first I was like, okay, well maybe they just need to the Native American casinos.
Are they fighting
Native
it?
American, Native Americans. I think there is a. I don't know this for a fact, so I don't want to get fact checked by someone or get upset. But I believe that the Native Americans are wanting all the rights to it, and Stitt isn't playing ball with it.
Yeah, they've been
So it's just
they've been
being.
battling since he's been in our governor. So
Yeah, I don't honestly. I mean, if that's what it has to take for us to get it, fine. Let them have it. But I'm really wanting, the DraftKings
right.
and those apps. That's what I want with because we don't want to have to go to the casino every time to make a sports
Well, I
bet.
mean, it's
Like,
easier,
yeah, if when we can just do it on our
but it's
phone
easier for a
and
casino though too.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, and especially with like if we were in Las Vegas, it would have been fine because they're already, they already have all that stuff ready to go for your online bets. But so hopefully, you know, we get that legalized.
So I'm taking Utah State, and you got North Texas, and we'll wait on Tommy
Yeah,
Pick.
and just then you probably heard the vibration go off. He is going to take UTEP over North
North
Texas.
Texas.
He's not gonna know
He's,
until after this,
he
until
doesn't
he
know
watches this
that
podcast.
you took
No,
the opposite.
no, he
So one
doesn't.
of you
So
guys are going to be 0-1 to start it off.
correct. And I wanted to go on the record because me and you are going to take the sports betting pretty seriously on what we're going to pick. I am going to go ahead and put money towards North Texas, but I don't know jack about either team.
You
So
just like North Texas because you always said you were going to play there. Because
yeah,
every time we go into Dallas, you'd be like, "There's my college."
yeah, it was my backup school. If I couldn't ever play at OU, I wanted to play at North Texas.
I'm going to give you a trivia question right off the bat. Name
Mm-hmm.
a popular or a Hall of Famer that went to school there in the NFL.
Couldn't tell you
Mean Joe Green from the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why they call him Mean Joe Green. Mean because of
they're the mean or they're the green machines or the mean
green
greens.
machines. So that's how he
Yeah.
got his nickname. And of course his last name's Green, but that's how he got his nickname. You know how when I learned that
When I wanted to play.
yesterday at the card shop,
Oh,
I had no idea.
what a weird 2 days for you then for me bringing up North Texas again and
Yeah,
you just now talking about it.
yeah,
Uh,
it's
so
kind of crazy.
so yeah, you're taking one more time. What do you got?
Utah State over
All right,
University of Connecticut.
you gonna put some money down on that?
I don't have a way to put money on it like you do. You're
I showed you.
you're money bag man.
Okay, well then you're just gonna have to start transferring me money
Yeah, I might have to.
because I've showed you another boomer over here. Doesn't know how to work technology. I've sent you the link. All you have to do is just set it up.
These stupid
And
links. I just want to drive to a casino and place a bet.
we don't have that.
And
We have to do it
and you
illegally.
talk about boomer over here. When we go to Vegas, who has to help you place a bet in Vegas?
Yeah, because that's scary.
Right? Exactly. So don't
You
be
mess up.
no,
You mess up
no,
sometimes. You don't mess
no.
up. I sent you money and you messed up,
I
and
messed up on the first half or first quarter or whatever I put it on.
yeah, you put it on the first half instead of the game.
Yeah.
But lucky for me, I ended up
But who's the
losing.
one that
So
always says, "How do I do this?" When we're at the casino. So
yeah, I have to make sure that I do it right.
right. So
All right,
yeah,
go ahead.
football's here, dude. It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah,
OU's been scrimmaging. We did lose a pretty good linebacker, I think, right off the bat from injuries. So.
yeah. I don't know if he would have been like a all conference or anything like that, but a leader. I mean, he's a senior. He's transferring in. His dad's a coach on the team. You know, so he's definitely a leader that we're missing out on. But maybe this jump starts a little coaching career for him. I don't know if he has any eligibility after this year, but I was pretty excited to see him. Teddy Lehman was pretty high on him, and so it's a little bit disappointing. But I would say under the linebacker position, that is a position that I think that we were okay, kind of someone getting hurt at. I mean, we're not deep in it, but we're not necessarily thin at
Right.
it. So, when you're talking about the defensive line or safety or something like that, then that's what we're, a little bit thinner. So, speaking of scrimmaging and stuff like that, sorry, I'm getting text messages and they're popping up on my iPad. But speaking of scrimmages, I've heard that Billy Bowman, your favorite, and Key Lawrence have moved to safety. And they are saying that Billy Bowman has been the star of the defense, as in like improved in making that next step. The person that they're looking at and that's making the plays has been Billy Bowman at safety.
I hope he can tackle.
Well, we have that for everyone. Uncle Tommy just asked me my thoughts on it.
I would wait until the end of the podcast.
I'm going to
So Bowman, I mean, the only thing I have against that kid, I mean, I'm rooting for him because he did go to Choctaw.
No,
right? He didn't go to Choctaw.
No.
Who's the kid that went to Choctaw?
That's Jordan Mukes.
Where did Bowman go?
He was in Texas.
Oh.
I think you're getting confused because he knows his mom knows my mother-in-law.
Okay. Well, I mean, last year he just couldn't tackle worth a flip. I mean, he was horrible.
But no one could. No one could.
Yeah, and I hope Venables brings that in. So he did get burned some, but my main disappointment in him was just like I said, he would get stiff arm, or he just wasn't aggressive enough to me to make that powerful hard tackle coming off of a receiver. He'd get knocked over or miss a tackle, get juked or whatever, And so hopefully,
have you seen his transformation?
I have not.
From Schmitty to where he's at now?
No.
The dude is stacked.
I'm rooting for the kid because he plays for OU. So
yeah,
I mean,
we're talking about
there's a lot of
so.
and there's a lot of kids on that team that need to improve from last year, which Venables were probably probably going to do them wonders.
All of defense needs to improve.
Yeah,
Mims on offense needs to improve.
Yeah, but he's fired up. I think Mims is going to be a Big 12 wide receiver.
Well, I mean, we hope so. That's what we want. But and
I heard Bowman had an interception in a scrimmage.
One-handed interception. I never know how to feel about those, though.
Yeah.
I want to know who threw the interception.
Right.
Was it the backup quarterback?
You're gonna have both ways on a scrimmage. You kind of worry, why did defense get scorched, or why did the offense not move the ball? So
it was a one-handed interception. It was a great grab. So I mean, it was a great play that not every player is going to make. So I mean, he had to make. What?
I'm squirreling on you. Why is there? Did they paint your Luke have a picture back there in the background? Looks red.
No.
Oh.
Worried me.
It looks like a red spot on here.
So, maybe it's a reflection or something.
No, it looks like somebody painted something. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Had a squirrel.
Are you looking at the recording button that's red?
No,
that means we're live.
It's right above your headphone set. Right. Yep. Go down over the left, right there.
Yeah, I think it's a reflection.
Okay.
I hope so.
So, anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. You don't want offense throwing an interception, but you like the defense. So,
and say vice versa. I mean, when we throw a long touchdown pass in a scrimmage or on the spring game, you're like, oh, that's a nice pass, but you're also like, defense just got burned really bad.
Yeah.
So.
But it's exciting times coming up. So.
Yeah, I also I looked up something. I took a picture of it. I'm going to take this as our worst take. It's not going to be either one of you. It's not really a worst take, kind of just a loser. You know how people do winners and losers.
Yeah.
We'll take this as our worst take. And over the past 2 years, this is also a scroll through Twitter, so we'll knock two of them out in one. Over the past 2 years, Rutgers players have been permitted to order food through DoorDash if they were in quarantine. Through that 2 year period, they players have expensed over $450,000 in orders. Students, the NARPS, and taxpayers in New Jersey are angry at this expense.
Wow. I mean, they had the green light to order whatever they wanted to. Why not?
Yeah, I mean they did.
That's not the kids' fault.
But is that a team? Is that a football team that makes money that can?
I mean,
expend $450,000?
Who knows what? I mean, NCAA football makes a killing.
I mean, is Rutgers not the? But I mean, is Rutgers not the Kansas? Are they not?
They can be, yeah, but
equivalent in football wise. I mean, how mad would people be if Kansas football players were ordering $450,000? That's a big difference between an OU football team. I mean, even for OU football, that would raise some eyebrows.
They should have put rules in.
No, I'm not saying that you should blame the students or the athletes for it, but whoever put that in place, they should have gave them a spending limit.
See, I'm always totally opposite of that because when I was, area sales manager, I had I would always worry about how much I spent, even though they gave me the green light, not to worry about, but I would still worry about how much I spent. But you're talking about college kids here. So,
yeah. I mean, I was the same way when I traveled out of town for my work.
Potatoes and steak and potato and salad and dessert.
But we talk about this at my work, and I've talked about it with you. DoorDash is not cheap.
No,
it's Uber Eats. That's for one person. It's $20 a meal. I mean,
easy.
And that's cheap. That's cheap for DoorDash, Uber Eats, and stuff like that.
That's crazy. But like I said, you can't blame the kids. So,
can you hear my dog barking?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's probably Lincoln. I'm going to blame Lincoln because you don't like to use that name around here. So
I know.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to take your headphones off. Let's just keep talking and we'll drown it out. So I got another take for you. Yesterday, Dallas won on the road in the preseason.
Yep.
Since 2012, I think that's what they said.
I think we talked
a road preseason game.
We talked about this. Last time, last year. I think you told me that.
Wow.
I think you told me that last year, and that they don't go on the road anymore for their preseason games, and then they got called out for it, and then this year they had to go on the road.
Well, you always got to go on the road in preseason, at least a couple of games, but yeah, that was crazy when I heard that last night again. I was like, well, then that Turpentine took off.
Yeah. But we're experienced with him though. He played for
TCU.
TCU, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we've seen him before.
I think we probably saw him live at the Big 12 game.
We probably did, and he is. I mean, he's
fast.
He's fast. I mean, he put on the Jets for sure, and took off to. I mean, he definitely made the team off of. I'd be surprised he'd have to really screw it up, or he's having really bad practices if he doesn't make their team just as a return man.
Yeah. Yeah, this week will be an interesting week as far as OU practices, I'm sure. Then it's game week after that. So game week preparation. So you got one more. I think they start school Monday. So I doubt if they practice Monday. They may. But I got to tell a quick story for our audience out there. I was doing some lifting and went by the OU practice, and I saw the day before, I saw equipment out there on this field, and I was like, "That's odd."
The rugby field,
I guess. Yeah, I didn't know. It was I know, but I didn't know that. So I just thought it was odd to see all these tackle dummies out there and equipment. And then the following day, I had a ride lead me through there, and I saw this red, whatever they put on the top of their helmets, to help the padding, I guess.
Yeah.
And I saw big number 78 offensive lineman. It said Sooners across, and I went, "Oh my God, that's OU freaking practicing." So I pull over, start taking pictures, and get yelled at by a security person saying I had to keep going. I'm on a private street, so I don't know how they can really do
public
anything.
Street. Yeah, they can't.
They can't do anything about that because you're on a public street. I mean, if they wanted it to be blocked off, they should have blocked off the streets. Then I got the quarterbacks, throwing passes, but I went ahead and kept going after that. But it was pretty cool to see him out there because I was like, why would they be practicing? No fence cover, nothing. I mean, anybody could have
It's also
watched
a
them.
pub.
So,
Even if they would have got mad at you and said that it's university grounds, it's a public university.
well, yeah, and like I
So
said, you're on a public street though. So,
yeah,
but it was kind of cool to see. So,
that's not the first time we've been yelled at by security for
yeah,
watching
that was
practice.
actually on their field though.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I didn't know.
Yeah.
We just
How old
were
were
up
you
there.
though? You're probably what?
We were in high school.
Yeah, I would say 16 probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, yeah. You were. Life Touch was taking the pictures for the band,
Yeah.
and me and a buddy went up to the top of the stadium, and we were looking over, and we saw them practicing, and we were just casually watching. Not really. I mean, didn't have our phones out or anything, just kind of watching. And then we had a police officer come and tell us that we couldn't watch anymore. And they were definitely like looking at us, like there's coaches that were looking at us and stuff like that, trying to figure out who we were. And we were just two kids just watching football. I mean, we didn't know we couldn't be there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So with only one injury, I they said only one major injury. I would say that's a pretty big win for
Oh yeah,
uh,
so far.
football. I mean, last time we recorded was right before the Gundy situation, and we won't go too deep into that. But I just feel like that OU cannot ever escape the fall camp without
Some kind of drama.
some kind of job, unless I think that's when that running back, what's his head, and when they robbed that house
Yeah.
2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago or
Yeah.
last year. So I mean, seems like every year during fall camp we have a big story, injury, or something, and I think that it was dealt with well. I mean, I don't. I mean, I'm
As
not.
well
I'm
as
not
it's
gonna.
expected. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be that guy that was worried because there's a bigger thing going on. I don't want to say I was just worried about our recruits and stuff like that. But I mean, that's what your mind brings to. We're on a verge of a top 10 recruiting class, maybe a top 5 recruiting class. And you think, what are these players? Because they may not be getting the whole story or the true story. They're going to get what media pushes. They're going to get what the other teams push. You can't tell me that there's recruiters not out there that are going, hey, did you not hear what happened at OU? And so,
Right. And without
eh,
knowing exactly 100% what happened, I mean, you got to give credit to how you handled it, like you said. So,
yeah. And
um,
this is a Venables reign where I mean it is about the players, but it's also about accountability with him. I mean, there's a lot of players that ran under Lincoln Riley that probably wouldn't play for this team. I mean, based off of not performance but attitude, and I think it's becoming more of a leadership ran program with zero
agree.
tolerance.
Yeah.
So, and
And
that,
Lincoln's like the more I hear about OU, and of course, as the season goes on, I think this is really going to come out good. Is that, like you said, you're going to see more leadership, and you're going to see Lincoln was soft. I
I
mean,
think he was a player's coach. So and
but too soft. I mean,
correct.
like you said, we've said it several times. We don't need to keep repeating our podcasts, but um, I can see that in Venables that you're going to see more leadership step up. You're going to see more aggression, more aggressiveness, more firepower, more um, attitudes, more I don't know the right word, but more coaches in your face type deal. And they're not going to put up with a bunch of stuff Lincoln put up with because Lincoln would just shake his head. The only time I ever got to see Lincoln get upset was, a couple of bad calls by the refs or something that he was irate
Yeah,
over. But
he get fired up over
I
that.
hardly ever saw him in a coach's or player's face. So the more
Nope, he'd get
the
his playbook
and
out,
like I
and I
said,
mean,
and
just
the
start
more
looking
I
down.
see players and the more I hear them talk, and I mean, there's every team you always hear it, even with Dallas. I'm hearing it again. Their teams together where this is the best this team has started off the season as far as camp's concerned.
togetherness for this team, though. I believe it.
I believe it too on that part. Yes.
For OU, not I'm not saying just
Yeah,
us
for
for
OU,
OU
correct.
because I mean trauma bond. I mean the I don't want to say it's trauma, but I mean you lost your coach, you lost your quarterback, you lost your other quarterback, you lost your starting tight end, you lost a starting wide receiver. I mean you lost a lot of people,
Yeah,
and everybody that was there either had to stay there because they didn't perform well and they couldn't transfer out to a bigger school, or they wanted to be there. And so therefore you have a bunch of guys that want to be in that program,
right.
and they're there for each other. And I think we've gotten true leadership come out of this, when before the team captains were kind of, I'm not going to say they weren't leaders, because they did have leaders as team captains, but I think these are true leaders on who we're going to see as captains this year. And I think it will mean something to these players to be a captain. I think really the last person outside of, um, oh, what's his name? 5-star defense player that's been on the team for like 7 years. Uh, he's the one that got the fumble to win us the OU Texas
Oh,
game.
yeah, he's on the sidelines now as a
Yeah.
reporter. Yeah.
No, not a reporter. He's on the Soul team.
Oh, he
What
is
is
on.
his What is his name?
It'll come to me. But
But he was a true captain. But before that,
Kelly,
you're looking, yeah, Caleb Kelly.
Kelly,
You're
yeah.
looking at Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield was a true captain. But
Well, that's why I think this team too realizes when they put on that OU uniform who they're playing for. I think Lincoln. I think he didn't treat OU as OU. As a traditional team. I think Lincoln just said we're just another college football team. I'm not saying he didn't in some way do that, but this attitude of this team, they're saying, hey, we're putting on the OU Sooner uniform and we're representing OU, the tradition that's here, the All Americans, the Heisman trophies, the national championships, the Big 12 championships. I mean, they're they're they get it. This team gets
yeah,
it. I mean, because Venables is hammered at home, and when you see Roy Williams on the sidelines and uh, Bosworth and
I mean Adrian Peterson,
Adrian AD
and
uh,
maybe
Teddy
we'll see a
Lehman.
return of
I know Teddy Lehman's
Sam
with
Bradford.
OU some, but still. But I mean, when you see all those guys coming to them, they get it, and that's why I think Bob Stoops was so good about it too. He wanted the players around. I mean, that's what it's about.
Why wouldn't you want the disposal of the OU players
That's what
around?
I'm
I mean,
saying.
for recruiting and
I don't
stuff like
think
that. I mean,
Lincoln
you got
grasped the University of Oklahoma. I just think he just realized, hey, I'm in a great school, but it's not.
yeah.
And this is just my opinion. I think he's just saying I'm not at a top 10, and you got to put OU in a top 10. And I don't think Lincoln Riley did that. I think Lincoln Riley thought this is a great university, but they're not the king of college football, which it can be argued that their tradition is top 5 to me that you'd want to go to
I
if you
mean,
count all of it.
OU is a
So
OU is a blue blood school for football. I mean, there's no people want to argue that, they can argue it. I mean, the 7 national championships, the 7 Heisman Trophy winners. I mean, all that talks for itself. I mean, we are a blue blood school, and we compete every year. Yes, we've gotten blown out a couple times in the playoffs, but in the 20 years since, and I know it's been 22 years since we've won a national championship, but in that 22 years, how many national championships have we played for? I mean, we're in the mix every year. We,
yeah, we're in
I
the
mean,
mix, but I will say this: we got to step up. I mean, it's time. I mean, we're going on, like you said, 22 years since we won a national championship, and I think it's been 2008, 10
well, since the
that
last
we
time we
played.
played in that was a BCS national championship. Yes, was
Yeah, I mean, we
2008,
made the playoffs, but we
but
got beat, so we really haven't played for a national championship in
yeah,
12
I
years
would count
or
that as
more.
playing, not necessarily playing for one, but playing
And
for
you and
one.
I have said several times because we've been to a couple of Big 12 championship games that it's got to change. I mean, yeah, winning the Big 12, going to the Big 12 championship, winning it's fun for fans, fun for us, but we got to. we need number 8 up there soon.
Yeah, and
Number 8. So
maybe it's because we've seen it happen so many times with that Big 12
and what
championship.
and honestly, I've said this since we mentioned or since we were picked to join the SEC is that people can laugh at me on this, like Elijah or whatever, but I I honestly think, just look at what Venables is doing as far as recruiting right now. And then when we're officially in the SEC, a lot of recruits go to Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, whatever, because they want to play in the SEC, not necessarily because of the school. They want to play in the SEC. So can you imagine when we join the SEC, how much better we're going to get? And that's my opinion.
You have
We're not,
Tennessee
and,
that still lands 4 and 5-star recruits,
yeah,
and they haven't
and
been
it
great.
upsets me when I hear OU's going to be over their heads. No, the OU's tradition has been way before the SEC was even happening.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
So that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to
I'm
be
glad.
good.
I'm glad
So
we didn't go this year. I'm glad this isn't the year that we went. I'm glad that Venables and that
yeah, I'm with you.
we're getting a little more reps behind with Venables. But next year, if we go, we go, and we'll see
And I
it.
honestly think Texas is going to get better too. So
Yeah, I did too. That whole debacle. That was. You're not on Twitter, so you didn't actually believe me. You questioned everything that I said.
I still question it because I'm not questioning you. But ESPN never reported that. Everything I
ESPN's
read.
not going to report that because this just college football people bullying Texas. This is what happened. I told you that morning that Texas has announced that the starting quarterback is going to be uh, the backup. I don't remember
Right.
his name, and they actually did not announce that it was him. They just said that they had not made a decision yet and that it's very close. And somebody's put out there it's most likely going to be the backup quarterback that starts.
And not Irwin.
Not Quinn Ewers or whatever his name is.
Curious. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, so it wasn't going to be him. So this all happened very fast. Twitter blew up, not just OU fans, Texas fans, and stuff like that. And there was a press conference that started with Texas, not the head coach who usually makes Sark, who usually makes the decision, who usually tells people who's starting. It is an assistant coach that says, "Oh yeah, I have some news for you guys. Quinn Ewers will be the starter." Just randomly during the press conference.
And I'm with you on that because it's what a coincidence that came out
and also
right after you
yeah,
said that.
and then the news or the rumors and stuff. The turning is that Texas's donors started hearing the rumors and was like, "Hey, we're not paying Quinn Ewers to sit on the sideline. He's getting all this money that's non-refundable,
Right, right.
and he's not going to be doing that sitting on the bench."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So let's take a little ad break. I got an ad read. We are becoming a podcast family. I wrote one out.
Here we go again, not being prepared.
We're getting better. From where we started, when did we start doing this?
I don't know. March,
April.
April.
It's been a long journey. We have ran in circles of what to talk about.
I've got my screen on the TV that tells me what I'm supposed to say.
Oh, whatever.
Scrolling across.
I send you my notes. I don't ever see you
Oh
send it.
yeah.
I don't ever see you sending me your
Well,
notes.
that's what's on my big screen TV right now. I'm looking at it.
Well, that's for football season, so that's
So
not even.
I don't have a phone to have to go look at it. It's up on my big screen.
But anyways, back to the ad read. We we are becoming a podcast family. We actually have two more. I don't even know if I've told you this. We have two more podcasts coming out. One is already out. The other one, well, I'll explain the first one first. Do you like true crime? If you do, you need to check out Lashed to Death, a true crime podcast by my mom, Tracy.
My beautiful wife.
Yeah, and first episode is out now. I believe that she's actually sending me a text message during this podcast about her YouTube channel being up also. So go like, subscribe, and also go to her podcast if you have Spotify. and check that out. She talks
What's
to
it called again?
It is Lashed to Death, a true crime podcast. Her first episode, I know a lot of our listeners are local here, and so her first episode is over an Oklahoma murder, supposedly murder. I listened to the first episode; it was really good. I'm going to say it was a murder. It is not classified as a murder. It happened actually in Mom's hometown, Moore, Oklahoma. So you won't believe the twists and turns in that episode. So again, check out Lashed to Death by Tracy Davis. Second podcast that's coming out, I don't know if I told you this or not. Me and Aubrey are going to do a podcast, and we already have a name for it. It's called the Davis 3 Family Podcast. It is going to be a podcast about about us, who is a young married couple with a toddler in our everyday life. Our first episode we have not recorded. I think we're going to record it today, so it may release the same time this does. But it is about.
So does that include my little sweet tea?
She will be present. I mean, that's going to be part of the podcast, is being able to do stuff in life with a toddler. So first episode is going to be about traveling with a toddler, which we have done plenty of. I think Thea has probably traveled more than your average adult. So that will probably be out maybe today. Aubrey's
Cool.
also still sick, so we'll see if we get that out. So now go ahead.
I was going to say, have I told y'all to stay away from us?
Yes.
Okay.
So now we will transform into, we talked about OU, so let's talk a little bit about our Dallas Cowboys.
Well, the first preseason game was terrible.
Yeah, it was boring too.
We both looked at or texted each other and said, man, if that goes down, we're in trouble again.
Well, also tell me how here's the thing about our backup corners that I think is absolutely crazy, is that they're in position.
Yeah.
They're there in position. They're just getting plays made on them. But then you think like, okay, it happened once. It happened twice. Okay, now it's happened like 4 or 5 times. Okay, now it's happening where they're just targeting you. So you are in position, you're just not turning your head around, and that's part about being a corner. I would be shocked if, I don't know, I can't tell you which corner it is. It's on the left side of the field. I'd be shocked if this guy makes the team. I mean,
the thing I have liked what I've saw so far with this Dallas team, because there wasn't a lot to see on the first preseason. But they are tackling better, in my opinion. I mean, once they get there, they seem to be tackling a whole lot better than what they were. So that was encouraging. I mean, they were lighting people up. Gallimore's been having a great preseason.
That one play, the only play that I saw him, Gallimore, the only play I saw him, he ran through the tackle.
He smoked that dude, man. And then just clobbered him. And
the only bad thing about Gallimore, he's been injured since he's been with Dallas.
Oh my gosh, he looks like a big boy more than he ever was. So
yeah, I didn't even recognize him until they said it. Yeah, he said Gallimore, and then they're like, he's going to go off the field for the rest of the game to make sure that he's not injured going in, which is a good thing, because I remember his rookie year. He's a third, fourth round draft pick. A deeper draft pick. We knew that he was drafted to Dallas, and we watched him, and then he started getting some playing time there at the end of the season, middle of the season, and we were getting pretty hyped for him because he was a run stopper. I mean, he's on the inside of that defensive line, and them arms are just reaching out, and then he gets hurt, and we don't see him the rest of the year. And then the next year we're excited for him, and preseason, right? We see him on Hard Knocks get hurt.
I think once again, I don't know, we're not going to be a combined, or not a combined, but a total package team again. I think the defense is there. I know you said the corners are weak, and
the backup corners are.
And I agree with you.
That's Diggs is weak.
Spot. But I will say that as far as up front rushers with Parsons and people like that, I mean, I think we're going to be better. We're going to be a better defensive team than offense.
I think up front we're looking pretty good, and then I think on the linebacker position with Micah Parsons, we're looking good. I'll be surprised if we don't see Parsons more lined up on the defensive end position. just because we lost some great talent on our defensive
Well,
line. So
Cox is stepping up too, though. So I mean, he's going to be a good little linebacker too. That maybe Parsons. That's why you can bring Parsons up on the line of scrimmage. But
our corners are.
but the offensive side, I mean, we got a lot of ifs. I mean, our
Offensive line is a big
and
if, and
receivers
yeah,
and
I mean
running back.
our
I
second
mean,
receiver is out. So
I
I
know.
mean,
So, but
we paid a
I'm
guy with.
drinking the Kool Aid again. I've already said it earlier in the podcast. So I'm drinking the Kool Aid again.
You
So
won't
I think
you won't get me with it at all. I'm maybe
my
the week
prediction
before.
for Dallas is that we will make it to the NFC Championship game. Whether we win it or not, I don't know, but I think we'll make it there.
Oh well, third round of the
Yep,
playoffs.
yep. It's our time to get the monkey off our back. That's if, of course, that's if we stay healthy. I mean, I'm not going out on the limb like Michael Irvin did earlier in the week, saying they're going to go undefeated if they stay healthy. So Michael Irvin said that Dallas is going to compete with the 72 Dolphins. If they stay healthy, they go undefeated. That was his prediction.
I've heard multiple people say that this is Dallas's year, and we hear it every year. This Dallas's year, and I know people make fun of Dallas fans for saying it, but a lot of experts are saying I don't see it. I really don't, and I'm not going to get hyped up about it. We haven't won a conference back to back since 1996, so I mean
you drive me bat crazy because you always gripe and moan at me when it comes to OU football, saying this stuff, and then you got a homer over here doing Dallas opposite, saying Dallas
this is the
stinks. So why do you get on
podcast.
Me when it comes to OU football?
This is the honest podcast.
Whatever.
I'm
dude.
just being honest.
Give me a freaking break.
We don't have a running back.
Not knocking our team down. We don't have a running back at OU either.
We do. We have Gray.
Oh my gosh! You're saying he's a.
He will be a top running back this year. Ezekiel Elliott will not be a top running back. We better hope that Pollard's the starter. And the only reason why Pollard probably isn't the starter is because old Jerry Jones up there doesn't want to pay all that money for Zeke to sit on the bench.
I agree. I'm totally with you. He screwed up when he signed that big contract. You don't sign a stupid running back to a big contract.
No. There's not very many running backs that have been good in their second year of their contract.
I think you need to run for political office. You'd be great at it.
I've thought about it. It makes me too angry.
Because you've got, you're over here in left field and right field. You're never on the same page. You always, you drive me crazy with that stuff.
I know how to avoid the tough questions.
Oh, boy.
Okay. I'm on the Honest podcast, and I am being honest.
But you won't be honest with the OU Sooners. You think they're going to win the national championship?
I told you I didn't think they're going to win the national
championship. You think they're going to be in?
I think
they're going to go undefeated. You think?
No.
We're going to have a Heisman Trophy winner with Gabriel and
the way that OU plays, the expectations for OU every single year is to compete for a national championship.
And you don't think that's for Dallas?
The expectations for the fans for OU is to play in the national champion or to play for a national championship or to compete for one. The fans for Dallas Cowboys cannot. Based off of what I have seen in my living time, I cannot expect them to compete for a champion. I want the players to think that they're going to compete for one. I cannot get my hopes up. Dallas has done nothing for me since I've been alive.
What has OU done for you since you've been alive?
A national champion.
One national championship.
But they've gone and compete. I would be okay if Dallas didn't win a Super Bowl, but they were competing.
They've been to the playoffs.
But we don't compete in it. We don't compete in it. I mean, that's the same thing.
OU hasn't won a playoff game.
We're competing, though. We won a Big 12 championship, and we're going every year. We don't go to
We won the NFC East championship how many times since you've been alive?
Twice, 3 times.
Oh, my Lord, dude. Run for political office. I'll be your campaign manager. How about that?
How about that? I'm just saying, if we can make it to the second round of the playoffs.
So, since we're talking Dallas and NFL, give me, who's your Super Bowl picks?
I don't know.
Even though we still got 3 weeks before we'll have another podcast before the actual NFL starts. But as of today, who do you have going on the NFC side and the AFC side?
Let's go. Oh,
man, come on!
Let's go Packers. I hate them, but Packers and
unbelievable.
Kansas City.
Wow. Pick the Packers.
I don't want to say who else. It's kind of weak on that side. Do you not agree?
I think it's going to be Dallas and Buffalo. It's going to bring back the 90s, two 90s Super Bowls.
I've heard
It's going
someone
to
else
be
predict
awesome.
that. I've heard someone else predict that.
And I'll make one bold prediction too.
What?
Pittsburgh will not have a winning record.
Is that bold?
Well, I mean, my brother thinks they'll go undefeated and win a Super Bowl, but at least he's positive with this team.
I typically am with everyone but the Dallas Cowboys.
Lord, help me.
They've upset me. They've let me down too many times.
I understand, but that's part of being a loyal fan.
And I'm loyal. I was born into it.
You got a cowboy hat on, for Christ's sake.
I know, because we did well yesterday.
Oh my gosh!
You want me to go get my Dallas Cowboy helmet too?
No.
And my mask.
I don't even want you wearing Dallas.
Oh
until
my
you
goodness.
Respect them.
Let me see them win a playoff game, and then I'll respect them.
At least I show my OU gear on.
Listen, I'm tired of defending them to everyone I know, going to bat for them, saying
that's part of being a fan.
All my other teams back it up.
But do you have this argument with Elijah with OU, knowing that OU he's been right probably sometimes with you, and then you battle with Elijah?
No, he's only been right once, and I didn't argue with him because I knew we were going to get beat bad. I actually avoided him when we found out we were playing them. So
all right, what else we got?
That's it. We're up on the all hour here. We've already done an ad.
Well, we're excited for things to come because it's going to start getting good now. These podcasts have probably been a little boring in the past, but this is where we'll step up our game, and
we've come a long ways.
This is going to be fun. Follow us, and you'll see a lot more arguments, I'm sure, as the season goes. And then, of course, our sports betting, and we'll see how great we are to where you're going to have to pay us money to get picks soon. Just kidding.
Our next podcast will be on a Thursday before the game. So not before the game, but the Thursday before OU's football game. We will release that podcast. I will have to teach another boomer on how to podcast. So we will.
Does this person have a mic yet?
I have one for him right here. I already had one, and so I'm gonna get over there. I gotta take some time to get over there, and maybe.
Well, tell him to put his glasses on.
I'll have to tell Lucas to go over there and be next to him and help him set everything up. So
that's pretty bad. Lucas has to go over there and do that.
I've had to do it for you too. I had to come over there and show you how to put everything together.
Oh, whatever.
So
yeah, I mean, I will not be here next or the next podcast.
You'll have to send in your picks.
Yeah, I'll try. We're going on vacation.
No, you can't try. You have to send them in. What did you think about our theme song?
I liked it.
I did that by myself.
Yeah, I liked it. Are you still doing our advertisement for our whatever you call it?
Oh, so I'll do another ad read. Man, she's really getting me with all these ads here.
Yeah.
People are going to stop listening because we have too many ads.
Well, when she pays for the money, I mean, did she boot her off of our ad? You can't record her anymore?
I can't find it. It's gone too deep. I should have labeled it.
She's going to fire us.
I've been focusing more on the YouTube part. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, check out our YouTube page. It is the Honest Sooners podcast. And then if you're here on YouTube, we also are on Spotify and Apple Music. And then I did put it on Facebook, but I don't think I'll keep putting it takes too long. It double posted. It was weird. But we are sponsored by Artistry Spa. Is it Medical Spa or Spa?
Artistry Lash and Brow Bar.
Oh, Artistry Lash and Brow Bar. But they're also a spa, aren't they?
That's the worst take right there already.
Don't they do like facials and stuff like that?
Yeah, but they're not considered medical. I mean, they are, but
I didn't say medical. I said spa.
Yeah. So, anyways, so check them out.
Yeah, Artistry Lash and Brow Bar. They also do spray tans, facials, and all that good stuff. So check them out. I don't
All
know
right.
that. Do you got a phone number? Address?
Why do you got to put me on the spot like that?
Yeah, you didn't come prepared.
Well, I thought you had our
Worst,
recorded.
worst
I
take
thought you had our
again. Worst
recording
take
for
again.
our
I'll
advertisement.
just play us out with that.
Peace out.